So hey everyone, and welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at the brand new Switch games coming out for this week, and I've got 10 games lined up with actually quite a few games that I think have a very high potential to be some excellent games. So just as usual, a quick warning: if any of the trailers do get muted, that is simply for copyright reasons, and you can always watch the full things yourself on YouTube. So now let's jump in. So we're going to start today with our first game, which is for me the biggest release of the week, and honestly probably one of the biggest releases of the year, as long as the game turns out to be good. And that is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. That is going to be coming out on December 10th. And the game will be selling for a regular price of $34.99. However, if you pick it up on its release date, you will be getting a small discount and you'll be able to pick it up for $29.74. By the way, there was a rumor that this game was going to be delayed till the 19th, or actually it was going to be delayed till the 19th, but the company did a surprise announcement and said finally the Switch version will be releasing on the 10th. So now let's take a look at the release date trailer, and after that we will talk about first impressions. Yeah, really great news that it's not delayed. I am super pumped for that. The okie dokie drinking.
I'll destroy you all! Are you there, Rangers?
I love that it's the original theme too.
Morphin time! Let's do this, team! Take that!
Go Power Rangers! I can see how this will end. Woo! Join in the party!
I really love the fact that we have alternate gameplay modes like this too. Like you have like racing stages, you have the Megazord stage. When I say stage, I mean like gameplay mode. And yes sir, we have Tommy showing up there at the end. So that is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. So it is a retro-styled beat-em-up game, very much in the style of Shredder's Revenge, or Scott Pilgrim vs. the World would be another reference. To answer the question, because someone did ask, is the online play still delayed? Yes, it will still be delayed. However, they said it should be about 2 to 3 weeks to get the online play working for Nintendo Switch. However, the full game will be playable as well as local co-op for up to 2 players. It's even possible that you can play with more than 2 players in local co-op. I'm going to be confirming that as soon as I get my hands on the game myself. And as I said, good news, the Green Ranger is going to be unlockable in the game. So super hyped for this one. Really, really hoping that it turns out to be great. This could be one of the top games for me for the whole year, like I said. Okay. Next, let's move on to our second game, because this one is a given that most likely it's going to be pretty freaking amazing. But our second game is equally one that I'm very much looking forward to, however, maybe not quite as much as Power Rangers, and that is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered. Now, this game is also releasing tomorrow on December 10th, or today if you're watching the video on Tuesday, and it will be selling for $29.99. Once again, we do have a release discount, which will be lowering the game slightly to $26.99. Now, if you don't know, this is a remaster of 2 games that appeared on the original PlayStation, I feel like saying. I know the first one appeared on the original PlayStation, little blank about the second one, but either way, these are basically 3D action platformers that follow up the Legacy of Kain games that were a top-down sort of Diablo-style game at the origin. It follows also the story of a different main character, and honestly, these, just for the story itself, these are amazing games. And I'm really looking forward to actually trying them again, because the remasters look like it will actually solve most of the issues the original games had, which was for things being a little bit low res and looking too similar in some areas. But now let's take a look at the trailer, and once again, first impressions after. I really hope we get the original Legacy of Kain one day too.
Here we are, finally. I knew your every intention before you did. Enlighten me.
So Raziel is the character you're playing as.
You have
Kain
released a multitude of horrors on this world.
Kain is the bad guy.
You have strayed from your purpose, and now behold the result. I am your creation, Kain.
That these remasters look very high quality. Like, they honestly, the res looks so much better.
You have always been, and will always be, my soul Reaver. There are fates worse than death, Raziel.
Okay. So, honestly, if you guys like deep storylines, if you like dark storylines, these are amazing games. And like I said, I do hope we eventually get the original Legacy of Kain. But after the stream, if you guys want, I can dive a little bit into the original Legacy of Kain storyline, because I love these games. I played a crap ton of them, especially the original one, because the storyline was just so good. But I definitely think this one, as long as the performance issues on Switch are good, these are going to be excellent pickups. That is the only little sort of worry I have here, is that Aspyr, although they do some good work, they have had some performance issues on the Switch with their other releases. You know, and sometimes like Knights of the Old Republic 2, it took them a while to patch it up and get it all fixed up on the Switch. I'm just hoping these games release in good shape tomorrow on the Switch from day one. But yes, it is a totally different type of game than the original Legacy of Kain. But like I said, these are nonetheless, just for the storyline and the gameplay, they are their own thing, and they are excellent as well. Very excited for this release. Definitely one you should check out, and especially that you're getting a 2-pack for $30. $30 sounds like a lot, but you're getting a 2-pack of games that were AAA games when they originally came out. Okay, so it is actually a way better deal than we get on a lot of other collections and games. Okay, so we have Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver on the 10th. Now next, we have another game releasing on December 10th, which is going to be Taito Milestones, my god. Taito Milestones 3, that is going to be releasing for $39.99 on December 10th. Once again, there is a slight discount available for release, dropping it to $35.99. Now, I'm going to say, this is one of the best Taito Milestone games so far. Like, this is the third one. This is actually my favorite compilation of these games. But we're going to be talking about the price after this, because my biggest gripe with this collection is the pricing here. But let's take a look at the trailer first, then let's talk about the games. So we have Bubble Bobble, which is like, come on guys, classic. Kadak. A lot of people don't know it, but it's actually pretty fun as a retro platformer. Champion Wrestler is not too bad as a wrestler. It's not my favorite, but pretty good. Dead Connection I've never played, but it looks really interesting. Rainbow Islands is the follow-up to Bubble Bobble, where they're in their human forms. Roston is a big inclusion here. And we also get Roston Saga 2. I personally find that the first one's the better of the two, but it's still there. And then we have Runar, which once again is a game I personally have not played. Thunder Fox? Oops, my bad. Thunder Fox I haven't played either, but it looks amazing as well. So there we have it. By the way, welcome to the channel supporters, Asphalt King. Thank you so much. Welcome, my friend. Okay, so Taito Milestones. Look, out of the Taito Milestone collections, this is the best one, in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of really good games here. My problem here is the price tag. If we calculate all the games, Bubble Bobble, Rainbow Islands, Rastan Saga 1, Rastan Saga 2, Dead Connection, Championship Wrestler, Runark, Warrior Blade, and Thunder Fox, that's 9 games for $40. But these are retro games. That's too expensive. I'll just say it right out. Sometimes I say, hey, it could be too expensive. This is too expensive. If you're getting the physical edition, okay. But for the digital edition, no way. This should be like 20 to 25 bucks maximum. So if you're looking at this, it is an excellent collection for this for the Taito Milestones. But I would definitely say wait till it goes on sale. Pick it for 50% off, and then you're getting an absolutely great deal. If you get this at 50% off, feels really good. Feels like a really good pickup. But you know, and I think we're getting a lot of that lately. It's the end of the Switch life cycle. These companies are trying to cash in on these games. This costs them almost nothing to put a collection like this together. So, you know what? They're going to release it at a price, but check it out. Within a month or two, we're going to be getting some steep discounts on this one. I could even see post-holiday sales, the Milestone collections dropping. So if you are wanting to pick this one up, this is one I would say I had to include it for this week. It is a great entry in the Milestones collection, but I would recommend waiting for a sale for this one. Okay? Let's move on. So we are now jumping out of December 10th, and we are moving over to December 12th. Now, this game I almost did not include on the list for the simple reason that this is a terrible trailer. Terrible trailer. We are going to watch it. But if this was a trailer that came out like 2 years ago to sneak peek the game, I would have been like, okay, it's fine. But for a trailer that they put out like 5 days ago, this is like and I'm not doing this to be an ass, okay? A trailer will sell a game for you, okay? It will give a visual support to anyone that, like me, looks at games and wants to show people what games are coming up. And this trailer shows us nothing, okay? However, I did find some gameplay for the game because the concept I found interesting, and I decided to put it on the list nonetheless. We're going to look a little bit at the gameplay after. But let's watch the trailer first and you'll see what I mean. As a trailer to releasing like 5 days before the game releases, this is like sort of like really like weird. So, by the way, the game is called Azura's Crystals. It will be releasing, like I said, on the 12th. And it will be selling this one for $24.99. Sorry for cutting it off, but I want to get that out. There we go, guys. So do you have an idea what the gameplay looks like? Do you have an idea like what we're doing in the game? No. Okay. So this is what I mean by the trailer being awful, because it finishes like this, okay? It's just this, and you have coming soon in 2024. Let me just grab the gameplay really quick, okay? Well, that's what's really weird, is all the gameplay 8 minutes in has no combat in it. So I'm going to place it like here-ish. It looks like an exploration game with crafting, okay? So you play as this young girl, and from the gameplay that I've found so far is you have a mentor or a teacher who brings you to different areas, and then you basically have to go around solving puzzles and collecting materials to then craft different items. Like, he will tell you what you need to find, and then you'll have to go out and find the items to craft what you need. Now, the visuals seem very interesting. The concept itself looks very interesting. However, I really would have liked to see a full trailer to know what the game's going to offer overall. Because obviously this is the first like 8 minutes of the game. Is there combat? Maybe, but we don't see any in the first 8 minutes. Okay, so what I would like to see, this is just sort of message out there. A trailer is super important for selling your game, and make sure that in your trailer we can see all the different aspects of the gameplay. As a teaser showing just like intro scene like they did is fine, but when the game's 4 or 5 days out, we need to know what it's all about. So basically, I'm not gonna we're not gonna watch, like I said, 8 minutes of it, because it's gonna be weird. But it's pretty much this. I watched the 8 minutes, and you can set up a camp. So there's almost like little Monster Hunter type like scenarios you can do. But it's basically seems to be very adventure and exploration focused. And you know what? I actually find this super interesting. You just crafted an axe. Honestly, I can see potential here, but definitely this one, wait till someone does a review or we get a full idea of what the gameplay looks like. But I did want to include it on the list because I found the visuals and the concept interesting enough that I had to take a few minutes to talk about it. And also as sort of a lesson of what not to do for game trailers. Okay, next we're going to move on to, once again, December 12th. With Victory Heat Rally coming to us from Playtonic, and this game is going to be selling for $24.99. Now, this is a racing game. I'm loving the visuals, and I'm loving what it seems to be offering. Let's take a look at the trailer, then we'll talk about it.
Try not to blink.
I'm pretty sure we saw this in like a Nintendo Direct or somewhere. Because when I saw the trailer, I'm like, I saw this before. I'm loving this, like the retro chibi look that they're taking to the racing.
You're gonna need an energy pretzel to keep up with all this excitement.
Yes, Stunt Race
All
effects
right.
vibes. Yes, Canadian chick, you are right.
Holy smokes!
But done with pixel art.
That was awesome!
Yeah, some micro machines too I can see in there. You're right, and they look the format of the vehicles look like micro machines.
Ooh, you're in for a treat.
Welcome to Victory Heat Rally.
And you know, Playtonics does a lot of games for IPs sometimes. I wouldn't even be surprised that this might have been a Micro Machines game that, let's say, the IP never picked up and they decided to just publish as an original one. I would not even be surprised that something like that happened. But honestly, I'm loving this. I'm loving this visual. Price-wise at $24.99, however, we're looking at, pretty high for the indie scale. However, Playtonics has generally a pretty good reputation for them. They generally put out some really decent games. So I do have confidence that the game is going to be in good shape. However, I would have seen it at a $20 price point. I'll be honest, yeah, they did Ukulele and Ukulele. You're right, they're working on Ukulele now, but yes, this is the company that did Ukulele and The Impossible Lair. They've done other games as well, but they're most known for those two. Yeah, 24 is not bad. I just think at 20, it would have felt perfect. Okay, so this is not bad, and I can see it being worth the $24.99. All depends on how much content you get out of it. Okay, you have to be in retro-styled racers as well, but if you are, I do think this game has a huge interest factor for you. So that is December 12th. Moving on, we're going to be taking a look at one of my first other long shots of the week. Now, I did consider Azura's Crystal earlier a long shot, but it was a very long shot. This one is a long shot with very little downside. And the game is coming out on December 12th. It is called Maki, Paws of Fury. Or Paw of Fury. Sorry, I said pause, but it's Paw of Fury. And the game will be selling for only $10.99. Now, this is a pixel art beat 'em up, but the visual style is, let's just say, promising. Okay, the gameplay, however, I do have some question marks there. But let's look at the trailer and then we'll talk about it. No problem, Psychosis. Have a great one. Thanks for stopping by. So, as I said, I think this one has a really interesting visual. Now, there are a few animations that did look a little choppy, and I'm not exactly sure how the hitboxes are going to work. Because some of the hitboxes, too, did look wonky at some time during the combat. I think it was here. Yeah, like here they looked a little bit wonky. But I think the visual style is extremely promising. And the fact that it's a budget $11 price point is probably one of the factors here where I'm like, if this turns out to be even a decently fun beat 'em up, without being revolutionary or anything crazy, the visual style with just solid mechanics are going to make this a game that is really worth picking up for some fun during the holidays. And it's maybe even going to be, you know, a game that I'm going to be suggesting on a regular basis. But if the gameplay doesn't hold up, we could have an issue here. And Red Deer Games have sponsored this channel in the past. This is not sponsored in any way, by the way. I do want to mention that most of their games are pretty decent. However, it does vary from time to time. So I do want to check this game out this week. If it turns out to be good, I do love the art style here. Look, the character designs and the art style are top notch. They're going furry heavy here. Very, very furry heavy. But I do think at the same time, they're doing it in a way that no one else is doing. Okay? I'm not going to put the music on again because if it gets copyrighted, that's going to be a second time that it's going to be copyrighted. And I have a feeling that it could be. Okay? So sorry about that, my man. But you can watch it in the replay. Okay? Next, we're going to be moving to December 13th with Chernobylite, the Complete Edition. Now, this is another game that I have a big question mark for, and I'm worried about the performance. But it also has an interesting concept to it. It is a first-person survival game. This game will be releasing on, like I said, on December 13th, and it will be selling for $29.99. So let's take a look at the trailer, then let's talk about it. Like, a lot of these visuals are very interesting, very eerie, spooky. So it says lurk in the shadows or engage in combat. So you seem to have you can take a stealth approach or a combat approach. There's crafting for tools and weapons and equipment. A lot of customization to your weapons. That looks actually pretty cool. Construct a base and assign tasks to your comrades. So there's even base building. So yeah, I have a lot of question marks here. Like, I can see this game turning out to be an awesome experience, or I can see the game overstretching its reach and maybe, not keeping its ideas together. But if it turns out to be a really good game, I'm still worried a little bit about performance on the Switch. Now, there does seem to be a lot of pixelation to the design, like on your guns and different things, which is probably going to help. But I'm really wondering about this one. But I do think it's an extremely interesting concept. And this is definitely one, once again, I will be keeping an eye on for reviews and whatnot. And if you're into like first-person survival gameplay, I would definitely say keep an eye on this one. We haven't had, I think, this kind of game on the Switch in a little while. I'm trying to think of the last one that came out. Probably the Subnautica series would be the closest to this, but obviously in a totally different aspect. Like, Subnautica is more about like exploration. It is survival, but like not weapons combat like this. So I think one to keep an eye on for December 13th. Now, we aren't done, because December 13th we have another game, and this one is a follow-up to a game that we already had on the Switch, and I think is going to be going to have a huge public, and that is Fairy Tail 2. Now, Fairy Tail 2 is going to have the price of a triple A release. It is going to be selling between $59.99 and, get ready, guys, if you want the Ultimate Edition, it'll be selling for $114.99 on the eShop. Now, a lot of the add-ons seem to be cosmetic, but it is just good to know that base game is $60. However, there is a ton of DLC for it. Yeah, USD. $59.99 USD, or $119 if you want the Ultimate Edition. Now, personally, I would say forget the Ultimate Edition. If you do pick it up, pick up the regular one, okay? And maybe pick up the DLC when it goes on sale, which will ultimately happen. And you know that all these like property games or anime IP games eventually do go heavily on sale. So if you can wait it out too, it can be a good idea. Let's take a look at the trailer, then we'll talk about it. By the way, I'm a huge fan of Fairy Tail, so I love this anime series.
Relive the climactic Alvarez Empire arc from the hit anime Fairy Tail in this action RPG. Set in the vast kingdom of Fiore, Team Natsu prepares to finish their fight. Engage in real-time battles and unleash powerful attacks that fuse different kinds of magic based on who's in your party.
So it's real-time turn-based, by the way.
Work together with your teammates to take down powerful enemies.
So this is an RPG.
Fairy Tail 2 launches on Nintendo Switch this winter.
So I am very excited for this game to be coming out. However, I personally will be waiting for a sale. All these anime games, they're fun to play through if you are a fan of the source material. They can even be an introduction to the storyline if you like the visuals and the gameplay. But they're primarily geared towards fans of the series that want to replay them themselves. And unless you're really aching for a game to play right now, I would really just say always wait for a sale for these. I do that for all the Naruto games. I do that for even the Demon Slayer games that I'm like, we're going to be getting a second one soon. And I'm going to be waiting for a sale for that one as well. It's not that they aren't necessarily worth the $60. It's that they are often just one playthrough games, and they maybe don't go as deep content-wise as games that are not based on these IPs. And especially if you already know the storylines, it's fun to play through them, but it's not exactly the same as discovering a brand new storyline. Okay, so I think this one is going to be an awesome game for fans of the series. Now, we have 2 games left for today. Our before last game is one that was delayed last week. And it is another game that I am extremely excited for its release. And that is AntonBlast. Now, AntonBlast was supposed to be coming out last week. It got delayed till December 13th. Now, this game is going to be selling for $19.99. It is a 2D action platformer, very much in the Wario Land series-like game, or more recently, very much like Pizza Tower. So let's take a look at the trailer, and we will talk about it after. And Topaz has dropped her hair all around me. It's stuck in my beard, which is why I'm keep grasping at my face. Freaking Topaz. So basically, you have to clear the stages rapidly, and then you always have an escape sequence at the end. And here we go on the gameplay. If you played Pizza Tower, very, very much the same basic principle. Or, like I said, if you played the Wario Land games, very much like that as well.
Who is this red guy?
I love also the sort of graphical style. Once again,
Sorry about that.
resembles Pizza Tower. Both in visual style and sort of the overall feel of the game.
AntonBlast.
I don't think it's the same people, though, that did Pizza Tower. The one thing, however, I am going to say here, there is a free downloadable demo on the eShop, so you can actually try out the game yourself. I definitely recommend it. It gives you 2 levels, and it'll really set you up to know if you can adapt to the mechanics of the game and if it's something you're going to enjoy. However, give it time to settle in. Like at first, the game might feel like it's pulling you in different directions. Once you get the flow down, it feels amazing. By the way, I did a full playthrough of the demo on stream. You could even check that out on the channel. But AntonBlast is a game I will definitely be playing. And now Friday night, we will have a decision to make. Are we playing Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver? Are we playing AntonBlast? It will be a very hard decision, but one I will have to make. They pulled it down. I think it's back up. I'm pretty sure it's back up. If not, check on Steam. Like if you have a Steam account, you can check on Steam. It should definitely be there. Okay. Now we have one last game for today, and it is another long shot game. However, it is a long shot game that I somehow have a very good feeling about. Now, do not look at the price on screen because I could not find the trailer on YouTube, but the trailer is directly on the Switch eShop. So we're going to be watching the trailer from the Switch eShop, and because I'm in Canada, it pulled up the Canadian eShop. Now this game is $4.99 USD. So it'll be $4.99. It is also coming out on December 13th, and it is called Ninja 1987. A retro-style platformer, but one that I have a sneaky suspicion is going to feel good if you're a fan of that type. Now, is it a guarantee? Definitely not, because it could be giving us the impression that the mechanics are going to feel good. But let's take a look at the trailer and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, I'm sorry the quality of the trailers on the eShop are a little lower. That was like a magic spell. So honestly, as a budget retro style game, if the gameplay feels good, this can be a really nice little pickup for $5. Like if this was more expensive, you understand it wouldn't be hitting my list this week. But as a $5 game, if it delivers on the experience that it looks like it wants to offer, look, I'm getting old school Ninja Gaiden vibes. That's definitely Hawaii 5-0, maybe to a lesser degree, but yeah, a bit. And honestly, it's all going to depend on what the gameplay feels like. If they manage to give a little bit of weight to the mechanics, have the gameplay feel smooth and like you're in control, honestly, for $5, I think this can hit a lot of really top notes. It is a Ratalaika Games, yes. Ratalaika Games, once again, they do a lot of great retro ports, and they sometimes, you know, their games aren't going to be like 9 out of 10s, but they generally offer a pretty decent value. But what I also love is they generally price their games for what they are. They know they're not giving you AA games or double I games, as I call them, or triple I games, like triple indie games, but they're giving you good budget fun. Okay? That is pretty much it. But I have a sneaky suspicion this one could be a pretty decent game, and I am going to be trying to check out Ninja 1987 as well. But that will wrap up our new Switch games for this week. Honestly, it's a really great week for being right in the middle of December. Generally, these weeks aren't like have 1 or 2 good releases, but don't have like 4 or 5 like this week has. So, you know what? We are still eating very good as Switch gamers. So I hope you found something that you'll enjoy on the list. And as usual, I'll see you in my next video.